we weren't able to connect with you guys last week due
because
to
of Miles
and Alex's unfortunate efforts for the show. But hey, we are okay with that.
We're a family podcast here.
No, we're not.
We're
Not
very
even
focused
close.
on our family.
I don't think so at all.
So I would take the week off.
I would aggressively disagree with that. This is nothing more than a job, colleagues, nothing family related at all. But we're gonna get this thing popping off because this could be a lengthy one because we got some awards and some. This is actually to be like probably the more football-y, less betty discussion that we'll have. But we have a few games that we already want to dive into. Last week though, if we had the pod, we would have gone to a 1 on locks. I would have picked out of the Rams that only covered by 1, and then the Colts who lost against the Raiders. Alex would have picked the Steelers.
I had Steelers money line and then Eagles 3.5 for my two most confident ones, and those both hit.
And then Frost went Steelers as well. So
I went Steelers and Bengals.
Okay, so wow, I kind of went 0-2.
Yeah, you don't like the orange team, so it's all right. It's whatever.
And if we had the pod and I was trolling and I was hurt, I would have gone Chiefs money line, and that wouldn't have turned out great.
Well,
but...
I'm the reason you won because I bet on the Chiefs. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And
my Steelers broke the Alex curse, and
they did. Yes, he's a very curseable person, but
Baker Mayfield's just not that good.
Alex sent me some teams. I'm kind of gonna let Frost, because I don't know. You know, there's so many variables going into this week. This guy wins, this guy loses. These guys don't care. These guys are sitting. To where my umph is really into the awards, and so when we get to the awards, I'll be talking about it. But I'll let you guys. I'll spew out the games. Actually, this first one's going to be my lock, so I'll talk about this one game, and then you guys can kind of spew out the rest. Colts at Jags. Looks like it's at +15 for the Jaguars. I'm gonna take it. Earlier this season, they squeaked out a win against the Jags. A late fumble by Trevor Lawrence. The Jacksonville Jaguars have locked up the number one overall pick. Still a rivalry game. This can still be a hoorah game, hey, because they know they can send the Colts home. So that's an emotional thing. I'm gonna leave a stat that Alex pulled for him to talk about with that game. But yeah, I also have a Colin friend who's worried. He's a Colts guy, and he's worried about this game because there's a lot of pressure. And Wentz, you never know. They know if they win, they're in, and the Colts can beat them and send them home. So plus 15, I'll take the Jags, Alex.
Yeah, I agree with you on the Jags. I think the line may have started at like +17. My statistic, I don't know the exact thing, but the last time the Colts won in Jacksonville was like 2016 or something like that. So it's been like 5 years since they've won in Jacksonville. It's really funny that this is going to be the like game that they have to win to like get in the playoffs or whatever. But I think anywhere from like +17 to +14 or so would be good. Kind of going off of what Miles said, I feel like Wentz is one of those guys that might like try too hard and it could like screw them over. And the Jags are definitely going to be wanting to, get their division rival, out of the playoffs or I don't know the implications, but I'm pretty sure if they lose, they're out. And I don't know if y'all saw the Bleacher Report thing that if the Jags win and then the Chargers and Raiders tie, that
game doesn't matter. Yeah, game literally.
So I highly doubt that would happen, but I know some people have already placed bets on them tying and then the Jags winning. So.
Wait, no. I'm pretty sure that. What did you say?
Even
it doesn't matter. Raiders or Chargers, they both get in if the Colts lose. That game literally doesn't matter. Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
If Chargers win. Chargers win, or if the Raiders win, it doesn't matter. If the Colts lose, they both get in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean, a tie would be like super fucked. I think that would fuck up a lot of things actually.
Yeah, that
Awesome.
would never happen. I don't
I don't think they would
I
allow
think
that.
people are way too, try hard for two teams to agree on a tie, especially like divisional teams. But some people were like trolling and already betting on ties and stuff. But I don't see a world of that happening. I also feel like the NFL would come in and like take your picks away or something like that, or they'd
They
get
would
in
do
some sort
something.
of trouble. Yeah,
They'd
so,
penalize. They'd
yeah,
penalize
that'd
both
be
teams.
a disgusting Sunday night football game or whatever it is. But yeah, I agree with Miles, and I think Jags. I think even sprinkling on the money line might even be a play, but it's probably just going to be an ugly one. So I'll go plus
Frosty?
16
on
or whatever it is.
that one, I'm going towards the Jags. I don't think they win. Obviously, I think the Colts handle their business. Like you said, if Jonathan Taylor goes over 100 yards rushing, they win their games. I think they're like 7-0 or something. If he's
Actually, this past week is when they broke
lost.
that up. Yeah, they were
Okay,
7-0.
so they're
in the
7-1.
Yeah,
7-1 then. So I just don't see a way that the Colts kind of blow this one. But if you're giving me that many points, because it did start off at the beginning of the week at 16.5, it has moved towards the Jags' favor a little bit, down to 15. But I still like them at the 15 mark. Definitely not if it goes below 14. But do like the value in the 15 mark. Money line, like you were saying, may be the move for the best value. It's like plus what, 4?
It's plus 650 is
Plus
at least what I'm
650.
looking at.
Yeah, so you maybe hope for a prayer that Carson Wentz throws 3 interceptions or something like that. But yeah, the Colts, all they have to do, win in their end. So I think they have more to play for than the Jags even think about having to play for. And Trevor Lawrence has looked horrible over these last 2-3 weeks. So I like the Colts winning this one, but the 15, I like them keeping it at least within 10 points. I think would be where they keep the game at something like maybe a 20-10 win or 24-14, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next one, Steelers at Ravens. This one, implications, both these teams are going to be trying. Maybe the Steelers come out too emotional over the last week. I read some reports that Lamar is probably looking to come back. But Alex, what do you think about this game?
Honestly, I like the Steelers. I think it's at, what is it, plus 5 or plus 6. This is one of those ones that I'd come in on the money line on the Steelers. I think I already have the bet that we took week 1 or whatever, Frost, but I'm waiting on that 8.5. So I'll probably just ride with that and let it play out. But I honestly like the Steelers regardless, just because I think the Ravens have been kind of frauds all season, and I've kind of said that from the jump. Especially just watching a lot of those close games that they've had all season against the Lions and Raiders and Chiefs even were close, and they play all their games close. But
except for the Bengals games. The Bengals games are not close, Alex.
Yeah, well, the Bengals just aren't a very good team, but but I mean, it's a divisional game, and dropping 6 points is a lot on a Ravens team that isn't that great. And I will say, and to put all of this together, but I think the Steelers have been very disrespected by Vegas like all season. The fact that the line last week came out at Steelers plus 3.5 was like shocking to me. I immediately snagged that because, like, in my opinion, I thought the Steelers should have been favored, and I feel the same way here. The game, if Lamar plays, I think it should be like 3.5, and it's at 6. So I think the value is definitely on the Steelers here. So Steelers should be on my play, probably money line too.
See.
I hate betting on my own team, but I'm definitely going to be going towards the Steelers on this one. TJ Watt's going for the record to break Strahan. He's 1 sack away from tying it. So I think they're going to be obviously dialed in with the blitzing packages that they send out.
Yeah.
I do see. I think I'd be more concerned, honestly, if Huntley plays than Lamar at this point, just because Lamar's been out for 2-3 weeks. So it's going to be. You don't really want to rush him back, and especially since Lamar's also going to be in the contract negotiations coming up here soon. So I don't know if they play Lamar. I think they already know the odds of us making the playoffs are very slim. I think it's 3% chance to make the playoffs. So I don't really see them really putting him
Prideful
out
team.
there.
They're very prideful. If Lamar's healthy, he'll play.
Yeah.
In their head, they think they can make playoffs. They're a prideful team.
Yeah. But even
Yeah.
even with that, I mean, I don't know if y'all saw the footage of. By the way, their practice field is disgusting. But I don't know if y'all saw the footage of Lamar limping around. But I mean, once again, I've been saying all season that I think Lamar is an overrated quarterback, and I'm with Frost. Like I would be more scared of playing Huntley.
Yeah.
I'm like I want them to announce that he's in, and then I'm gonna watch people bet on the Ravens, and then I'm just gonna go Oppo and hit fucking Steelers +7 or whatever it is. So
Yep.
it's a divisional game, and the Steelers are known for their good defense, and uh, I was listening to a podcast actually earlier today, and they were just saying how like Big Ben is one of those like Hall of Fame quarterbacks, but he isn't like one of those guys that puts up like crazy statistics, but he still like gets the job done, and that's like kind of the epitome of the Steelers org. So I think it should be low scoring, and Steelers will. I think it's like more of a coin flip to me. So
Agreed.
Okay. Did you have anything else, Frosty?
No, the only thing I was going to say is funny how Vegas got the division wrong. They had the Bengals at 4, Steelers at 3,
Frost, don't do this.
Ravens at
Frost,
2,
I'm getting
and Browns at 1. And they flipped it around with the Bengals at 1 and Steelers at 2. Oh,
boom,
man.
dude, man. Since you brought it up,
Crazy.
I'm gonna do it. Hey, 3-13, 4-13. A lot of teams had the Bengals going. I don't know how people got 4-13.
what was y'all's win total?
3-14. It was 5.5.
I think it was
5.5.
Yeah, 5.5 at the beginning.
5.5, and we destroyed it. I think it was 6.5. It went to 6.5.
Oh, people are betting up.
They pushed it to 6.5.
Browns were one of those teams that Browns and the Colts were like the two most popular teams that a lot of the sharps are hitting, and the Browns choked it, and then I mean the Colts looked pretty shitty at the beginning of the season.
Well, the Colts could have won their freaking division if the Titans, we beat the Titans, and then the Titans played, I think, the Raiders the next week. Oh, no, the Colts played the Raiders. All they had to do was win that game. They could have had the same record as the Titans.
Yeah, I think the Colts
didn't possibly win.
I think their win total was like 10.5, and a lot of the sharps were saying that they were going to win like 12 games, and they could go 9-8 or 10-7. So
I think the Colts are better than what their record says.
For sure, right now.
It's just one of those
but they definitely, it took them a while to mold together. So
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, Bengals, AFC North champs. It's all good. 49ers at Rams. Both these teams are fighting for something. Rams fighting for that number 1 spot. Get a bye week, home field. 49ers, I guess, just want to make sure they make playoffs, of course. Let me see. It is at +5. I would take 49ers in this one, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Alex.
Yeah, I think the line's been floating around. I think it started at 3 or 3.5, and people bet it up to 5. 5 scares me a little bit more, but I think I'm still on the Rams side. I would like to wait. I was kind of waiting to see if Jimmy G was going to practice or not, because I think he is better than Trey Lance. So I was kind of like just kind of waiting to see what happened, and the line actually moved opposite as what I thought. So I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical at this point to bet it, but I really did like it at like 3.5 or 4. If it's up at 5, then I'm a little more scared. But it's also hard to back the Rams right now. They don't look like a very good team. I mean,
Right.
Stafford is looking terrible. I was gonna say not terrible, but he's looking pretty bad.
Wait, no, they can't get the first seed. Packers
Who?
have it, right?
Yeah, Packers have
it locked in. But
So they're just trying to win the
to
division.
win their division.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're going for
Division
the 3 seed
implications are everything in this game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, and so on this one, I agree with you guys on this one, but I think I lean more towards San Francisco in the sense that San Francisco has the Rams number. They typically play
does
them
Lance
really
playing
well.
not scare you at all though?
That's the only thing that scares me. I think if Jimmy G plays, I'm 100% on San Francisco. If Trey Lance plays, I'm more so leaning towards the Rams. I think the Rams can control Trey Lance more than they can control Jimmy G. So that's once it comes down to game time, I don't know if they'll play Jimmy G or not. If Jimmy G plays, I'm going to take San Francisco, but if he doesn't play, I'm taking the Rams. Because even though the Rams have been playing horribly the last few weeks, I still think that this is a game they could easily win if Trey Lance plays.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what Vegas is doing. I think people are assuming that Trey Lance is going to play, and so that's why the line has moved.
It's moving.
I think it should be around 3 or 3.5 with Jimmy G, and then the fact that it's moved a couple points would kind of show that people think that Trey Lance is going to play. So
yeah, I think this goes up to 7.
Okay. He did okay against the Texans, but even in the first half, the game was pretty close. So
it was I think going into the fourth quarter,
it was 10-7.
It was 7-6 or 7-6 or something like that, and then they kicked the field goal, and then it was 10-6, and the only reason that they even covered the spread was because of the Davis Mills interception, and then the forward progress that they said the San Francisco guy had, but it was really a fumble. It really blew the line. That was a Vegas
I had
a Vegas
Texans plus 13 or whatever it was, and
so dumb.
I was feeling good
barely.
About it,
guys,
choked it away.
So dumb.
Oh jeez.
Okay.
We move on. Saints at Falcons. No opinion. Don't care. Don't give a shit.
For someone who's a huge Saints fan.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
So
Saints win, but I don't care about the spread. They got it at
4.5.
4.5. Alex is going Falcons because he hates the Saints.
I have the Saints under 9 wins. That was one of our debates in our group text, and they're sitting at 8 right now. So if they lose, then I win. If the Saints win, it's a push. And this was one of my most confident bets of the year. So it's all coming down to a measly week 18 game.
That's just so dumb. Your whole thing was Drew Brees is gone.
I agree. I think if Winston played, I'd be screwed right now.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that I was wrong. The Saints are a lot better than I thought, but I think in this game in particular, I just think the line's off. I don't think the Saints are that much better than the Falcons, honestly. And the fact that the Falcons are 4.5 point dogs at home is a little aggressive to me. I think I get that there's playoff implications for the Saints and they might be playing for more or whatever, but I think that at that point the line should at least be closer to 3. And if it's sitting at 4.5, I mean the Falcons seem like the value play here. And I mean at the end of the day it's NFL and people are gonna play hard and I don't think they're just gonna not give a shit. I mean it's a divisional game. If the Cowboys and the Eagles are gonna play each other, they're gonna play hard regardless. Steelers and the fucking Ravens, it's gonna be a tough game. So I mean, it's classic. Public is betting on the Saints, and then you have a road underdog here with the Falcons. And as much as the Falcons have fucked me this whole season, I think they're the quote unquote correct play. So I already put half a unit on the Falcons money line, and I'll just dabbling at that, and then I'll ride with my Saints under bet. So that's my play.
Yeah, on this one, I think I'm gonna run with the Saints. like Taysom. I think they're going to start Taysom Hill as obviously the starting QB for this game. Whenever they tried their horrible Ian Book and situation, that was just atrocious. So I think they go back to Taysom. I like their odds more so. Like if you're saying that you're at home and you're it's 2.5 points for home field advantage. So
the
you're
Saints
saying
would be over 7-point favorites at home, which to me that's a lot.
I think they're that much better than the Falcons is the issue. Like
So
their
if the Saints
defense
were at home, you'd feel comfortable laying like at least 7.5 points.
I'd be happy at 7. Yeah.
It wouldn't be 7. It'd be at least 7.5.
Like I think the Saints are better. The Falcons have been horrible in the red zone all year, so I think my favorite bet is the under, which I got at under 40 points. So I think this game is going to be, maybe a 20-10 type of game,
I agree
somewhere
with that.
in the ballpark of there. I don't think a lot of points are getting scored here, especially with the inconsistency at QB for the Saints. So it's one of those things. I believe in the Saints defense more than I believe in the Falcons offense. Period.
Yeah. I think this game definitely is going to be like a 20-17, 21-17 type game. So, and with that argument, it would be 38-37 is probably what the over under
should be
sitting at.
Yeah. I think right now it's at like leaning towards 40 or it's at 39.5. Yeah. Even then I'd probably still take it under.
Yeah.
But I don't think a whole lot of points get scored here. And I think the Saints have way more to play for, obviously, playoff implication wise, than the Falcons do. And I think the Falcons are happy with just losing the game and getting a better draft pick.
All right, we move on. Probably one of the better games. If the Colts lose, if the Colts win, this becomes a very exciting game. If the Colts lose, this is going to be a game where, I'd be shocked if either quarterback plays or if what happens. So, Chargers at the Raiders. Let's go ahead and do a hypothetical. Colts win to where now Chargers at Raiders. If you win, you're in. This one, Raiders at home. I think I like them. I've been fading them all year for the most part. +3 at home. This is an energy game. I guess, really Chargers are good at traveling because they never have fans. So I don't know if I guess this team might be used to all the BS with home and away. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I think I'm just going to go Raiders, not really thinking about it.
Yeah. This is actually going to be my lock of the week. I'm going Chargers -3.
GG's.
Yeah, okay.
So Raiders, you're welcome for helping you get that playoff win. But I think the Chargers are like it's more of like a meant to be type thing. Like I feel like they're a better team, and the Raiders to me, it's the fact that they're even in this position right now is like almost shocking. Like they had their whole internal problems with the head coach and John Gruden, and then they had the crazy drunk driving situation, and Darren Waller was hurt for 5 weeks or something like that. So I mean, the fact that they can still make playoffs to me is kind of shocking in a way. And I just think the Chargers, like I trust Herbert more than I do Derek Carr, and I just trust their coaching and offense and defense more. But it could be a complete public play, and the Sharps might be hammering the Raiders just because it's like a underdog at home type situation. But it's more of like a destiny thing for me. Like I just think a lot of people thought that the Chargers are going to be one of those teams that could even make the Super Bowl, and here they are. They're fighting for their playoff spot, and I just think they're going to get it. So I think that they win by 3 at least. So that's my play and lock of the week.
I see.
Yeah, your lock of the week is shit.
Hey, I'm like 3-0 in my last 3.
They play hard for old Rich. All right, Derek Carr's been playing. Statistically, he's been amazing, and the fact that he's been able to lead that team to where they're at right now is
Mhm.
nuts. So just keep that in mind. I think I think Derek Carr's more reliable than Justin Herbert, and I think Justin Herbert, I think the Bengals really want to see the Chargers win this one because they want to go against the shitty defense of the freaking Chargers. So I like the Raiders in this one. I think a home underdog. I love that, but either way, it's not really home field advantage like that. Vegas doesn't have a home field advantage at all, but
Yeah.
Chargers fans, whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't even think they know their team exists right now, or they're even in playoff contention. So it's one of those things. I like the Raiders on this one, and especially for the story that it could create, especially for Rich being able to take that team after the fiasco that's happened and take them to the playoffs would be nuts for him. And I think that would keep him in the head coaching position. I don't think the Raiders go off of him at that point if that happens. So I
And
do like that story.
Derek Carr needs like something that's not crazy to be like the all-time Raider. Like he beats Rich Gannon in the all-time Raiders.
Is it like
Oh, for
passing
like
or something?
passing or something, or
Mhm.
That'd be pretty
maybe
shocking. I feel like Rich Gannon had like some pretty insane passing yard seasons, but I mean they're also
Mhm.
adding like an additional week and everything, so maybe it's true. But
Well,
yeah,
I think it's career. So
yeah. It's
oh, okay.
he's
it's not a
See
been
week.
that.
he's
It's
been
not
their
a
QB
season.
forever. So I do like the Raiders on this one though, and I would do moneyline Raiders. I wouldn't
I
even think
think,
about it.
yeah, no, I
That's me
definitely
though.
think that that's probably more of the like sharp play, just kind of what I was basing off of. It's like home underdog type situation, but I I think it's just one of those things that I just feel the Chargers get it done. I don't think my play is like mathematically correct. Like the line is
You're
off,
just going off of
but I'm
feel.
just
That's all.
yeah, it's more of like it's not like a mind thing. It's like a heart thing. But it's
Okay.
a win-win for me because I want Bisaccia to
Oh yeah,
take
dude,
it.
great coach, great family.
So
Big
Yeah.
Versace
I'll be
guy.
getting my Raiders shirt
Oh,
out. So
yeah, you will. So I'm going for my lock of the week is going to be the Bills. Or not, sorry, not the Bills. My apologies. The Jags at +15. Alex is going Chargers -3, and Frost
I'm going
is
Detroit.
going Detroit +3.5.
True.
Any teasers or no?
I didn't have any this week, especially like you were saying before, the amount of teams that'll be,
Not giving a shit.
not giving a shit, sitting players down. If the only advice I'm going to give out is if you think a team is possibly going to be sitting players, but the team is so much better than the other team they're facing, just bet the first half. Because a lot of times they'll still play the starters for a quarter or two. It just depends. And then they'll sit them out for the third and fourth. So typically you want to bet the first half on your favorite team. And then the second half, you'll go for the other side. Try to get value out of that, especially like in the case of the Packers. Aaron Rodgers may play a quarter. I don't think he plays more than that. They'll sit Aaron Jones, obviously, and Devontae. They'll go ahead and sit them out. But there's no need for a team to risk injury when you're locked in at the number one spot.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Love in, and we've obviously seen how he plays. So not too concerned about it in the second half. The main thing I'm concerned about with the Detroit game is even though Jared Goff did test positive for COVID, he had that knee injury while on COVID protocol. So there's something with his knee. So that's the only thing I'm concerned about. But if Jared Goff does start for Detroit, I love their chances just winning this game.
They're
All
they're
right.
also the Detroit's also playing for I wouldn't say playing for more, but I just think they play a lot for their coach.
Yep.
And the Packers are going to be in a situation where they're going to be putting a lot of basic plays out there. They're not going to be showing a lot of film for other teams, and they're going to do just a very generic get out there, play, and they don't give a shit. And I feel
Yep.
like what's the coach's name?
LaFleur.
No, for the Lions.
Oh, Campbell.
Yeah, I think the players are going to be playing for him to, keep his job next year and everything. And so I definitely agree with you. I mean, the line has moved from I think +7 to, +3, and I think this is definitely leaning to one of those Lions victories. So I agree with you on that one.
All right. Well, we move forward into the meat and potatoes of this pod. Where are we at? What we at? Like 30 minutes right
Yeah,
now?
we're at like
or-
30. Yeah.
Okay, so we got about a few more minutes for awards. What we're gonna do is make this more of a debate than anything. Most valuable player right now has Mr. Rodgers at minus 400, Tom Brady at minus 500, or sorry, plus 500, Joe Burrow at plus 1,000, Jonathan Taylor at plus 1,600. We'll just do 4. Now, what I want to do is put up like an actual, is this worth, is this not worth, and why? On like I guess I really want to do the first 3 because there's no way Jonathan Taylor's gonna get it. So minus 400 Aaron Rodgers. Is this worth anyone putting their money towards at minus 400 for Aaron Rodgers? Unless if you're putting down like 40 grand or something like
Right.
that.
I think it's just way too much juice.
Okay.
Yeah,
400 is heavy.
On this one, I don't think the value's there. I think if you get it at like maybe minus 120 to minus 200, kind of in that range, I could see putting money down. But I think the main concern that people are having is the voters' perception of Aaron Rodgers, like off the field, not really concerning with his play, but more so about, how they view him off the field. I obviously, as a voter, you're not supposed to really take that in consideration. It's about your play for MVP and how you've led the team. Obviously, it showed when he was out, they lost, and when he was in, they won. So it's one of those deals. I think his best performance was that Arizona game, when he had Devontae Adams out and they were underdog, like 6.5 underdogs or something like that, and you're giving Aaron Rodgers 6 points. They ended up winning that game. That was amazing. His off the field stuff, I could care less about. This is more about the play. So I there's just not enough value at minus 400 for me. I think it's going to be a shoe in. I wish Jonathan Taylor, just what you were saying, I wish Jonathan Taylor could be brought in consideration. But unless you have a year like Derrick Henry had last year, I don't even think you're in the top 3 at all.
You got to get 2K at least.
Yeah, you have to have that kind of statistic year for a running back to even breach that conversation. So I think Jonathan Taylor, unfortunately, it's out of the conversation. But the minus 400 is not enough. I'd have to be at minus 120 to 200 to even think about putting money down on that because you're just not getting value.
Yeah.
Plus 500 for Tom Brady, who's 44, whose players have just been getting decimated.
One of his players ran off the field with his shirt off.
Right, and he's just a guy who is just keeps coming back and just like keeps doing it. He has a relationship. This could be not a farewell, but you never know to where, let's give him an MVP to, send him on his way. Maybe not. Plus 500, minus 400 is pretty like this guy's going to win. So is plus 500 even something to flirt with at all?
I personally would say no, unless the voters really just hate Aaron Rodgers. I think the problem to me when it comes to Brady is that he's had a lot of dud games this year, and I don't think Rodgers has really ever had any of those games. I don't know specifically, but I would say there's probably 3 or 4 games where Brady really didn't show up big. Like they had the goose egg against the Saints, which that game alone is probably enough to take him out of the conversation, in my opinion. That's kind of how I look at it. I just think Rodgers is like, we start thinking about Vegas lines and stuff. That guy's probably worth like 10 points when it comes to like a line, right? And I don't think Tom Brady is at that point. I mean, he's probably like 7 or something, but Aaron Rodgers, the Packers are, if you took him out of the situation this year, they would be like a 5-13 5-13 team or like whatever it is. Yeah, 5-13 or 12 or whatever. So yeah,
Frosty?
there's no value in my opinion.
I think if you look at the comparison between Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, you kind of look at what they had to deal with. Obviously, you're looking at Tom Brady, who, even though a lot of people won't admit it, he has one of the best offensive lines in the game right now, and the fact that with the amount like less pressure against him and everything like that, and like you said, like if you have a dud like that against the Saints, the Saints have his number obviously, but it's just one of those deals. Like the game that Aaron Rodgers lost was that Vikings game, so just keep that in mind. But even though they lost that game, Aaron Rodgers kept them in it the whole time, and it just seems like Aaron Rodgers plays more of a pivotal role when it comes to that than Tom Brady does for his team. Because I think the public's going to just see, oh, he has all these offensive weapons, or had most of these offensive weapons. Aaron Rodgers only has Devontae Adams. That's what they're going to look at whenever it comes down to it. I think they'll think Aaron Jones is equivalent to Leonard Fournette in this case of weapons. But like you look at his wide receivers he has, everything like that. I think Tom Brady probably has one of the best tight end groups in the game right now. And then on top of that, you're looking at his wide receivers, who are, a lot of people are saying it was a downgrade this year for them, obviously, but I think it's his wide receiver core was amazing. Like it wasn't like it was chump change. Like when you're just Aaron Rodgers, if you don't have Devontae Adams, your wide receiver core drops down to the bottom tier.
Yeah.
So it's one of those deals. I think Aaron Rodgers makes this year. I think Aaron Rodgers makes his team look a lot better than what Brady does. Like you said, if you take Aaron Rodgers out of the Packers situation, they're like, I don't even think they win 5 games. I think they're like at 3 games, maybe. Like I think it's that big of a swing. Like, and you take Brady out of the Tampa situation, I think they win. It's still bad. I think they win though, like 7 games then with that core unit.
They have more of a complete team. I would say that was one of those situations where like they were good, but they needed like someone to like bring them over the hump. But like the Packers would be like very bad. Like they would be like the 25th best team without Aaron Rodgers.
The Packers are.
And I think the Bucks would be like they would be sitting around like 15 to me if like Tom Brady didn't play. Like they'd be like an 8-9 team or like.
Okay. But like you said, it could be the public kind of being like, oh, are we going to give him like MVP? This could be the last year. So that's the one thing you're looking at. And the value wise, you said plus 500. That's not bad. Like obviously, it's a good return on investment still. But I think I'd rather, like, if I'm taking my shot, I'm going to go with the next candidate because I'd rather get way more bang for my buck.
And we'll go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and get these engines started. Look, this take is biased, right? It is. But we're going to be consistent with everything we just said, right? We're not going to bullshit anything. I would say, I didn't say it, but plus 500, I think it is good value. We didn't talk about it, but one Brady at 44 years old is 10 yards away from getting a 5K season for passing yards. Aaron Rodgers won't get 4K. He's at 3,977. Aaron Rodgers is not getting his 4K this season. But he has an amazing touchdown interception ratio with 35-4. Tom Brady has his 40 touchdowns. And like I said, I think it's good value at plus 500 because of these are reporters. A lot of reporters are the ones that are voting for this shit.
Yeah.
And former coaches are voting for this shit. You heard a lot of former coaches talking shit about Aaron Rodgers, how he's like, being selfish, how he's creating too much drama. You have these reporters who are reporting it. So I do think that's going to play a slight hand in it. But like I said, plus 500, I think that's good enough to, like, you never know type thing. Yeah. This next one, though, Joey B, plus 1,000 value there's a few things on his side, but there are way more things. There are a few things against him, but I think there are way more things for him. So give me some time. Off bat, the 14 interceptions is not great. For an MVP to win with 14 interceptions under his belt is rough, right? Like that's kind of just like, what are we talking about? For the fact that he's a second-year player, I know Patty got that award, but that still goes against him in the sense of like, does he really deserve it or blah, blah, blah. But let's talk about why he does deserve it. He's at 4,600 yards passing. He has a higher completion percentage than Aaron Rodgers at 70%. So 70% is pretty fucking stupid. 70% of a completed percentage is pretty dumb. QBR is at 108. Aaron Rodgers is at 111. So, he loses to Aaron there. But 51 sacks. 51 sacks. He is the most sacked player in the National Football League. To where we really scratch our head and we really talk about this whole thing, and we already know which team's going to be worse. We talk about, Aaron Rodgers is gone. Out of the three teams, the Bucs, the Bengals, and the Packers, if the starting quarterback is gone, who's the worst team out of the three?
Like the worst,
What are
or
we doing?
who has the most losses?
Who's
the Packers would suffer the most.
You think the Bengals, if the Bengals didn't have Joe Burrow, that they would have a better record than the Packers in the AFC North?
Yes. I think the Packers, kind of like what I was saying with Frost, I think they would win like 4 games. I think that's around what the Bengals would win. And to me, the Packers are going from 12 wins to 4. And the Bengals would be going, I don't know how many they have, 10 or 11 or 10 to 4, right?
I mean, let's be real. I think
we saw what the Bengals were when they had Andy Dalton, and they were still getting like 8 wins. And obviously that's a completely different team, but
at the end of Andy's career, they were getting like 3 to 2. Maybe, yeah. I mean, we got Joe Burrow. We were the number 1 overall pick.
I think
and we had Joe Burrow,
when it comes
and
to
we had
MVP,
the number 5
the
pick.
meaning of most valuable player, Aaron Rodgers is the most valuable. He, like I said, when you think of like a Vegas line, he's moving it 10 points, in my opinion. And Burrow would probably move it like 6. I don't even know who your backup is, but
It's yeah. So it's Brendan Allen. So he's actually a really, really good quarterback. My thing is this though. This is what I feel like we're not really taking into honest consideration. Now the Packers did have a decimated offensive line. I get that. But we're talking about worth, and I think plus 1,000. It's good with recency biased. Like Joe Burrow is the only person that's been in the news like the past 2-3 weeks. You have some reporters are going to be able to just see statistics. Some of them really don't have that major like IQ of football. To where I just think it's, I don't know, maybe as I'm saying it's still a big name of Aaron Rodgers, but that plus 1,000 value with Joe Burrow and what he's gone through, maybe this is more of a comeback player argument I'm having.
Don't you think the 40 or 51 sacks could be a negative to him?
It is and it isn't. So there is a thing.
I think the interceptions is definitely a huge argument because Aaron Rodgers has 4 and Burrow has 14, which I think is a.
If we talk about
PFF,
if we talk about PFF, if anyone wants to bring PFF in, there was something that out of that 14. It was like 8 of them are actually like his fault. There is so many that were like bobbles and shit like that. He leads the league in he's the quarterback that has the best PFF score. He has the most like 20 plus and 30 plus yard touchdowns. I don't know. Comeback player of the year, come back to me. I guess
I'll
my vote.
What percent.
I think you're wrong with if all three quarterbacks leave, if none of them play, the Bengals don't win a game. I think that's what you're not getting. The Bengals, you say the Packers win 4, Bengals go 0-6 in division. We lost to the Jets with Joe Burrow. You're telling me like it's because at that point,
but now you're telling me that Zach Taylor is coach of the year. So how is he coach of the year if Burrow's just carrying him at that point?
I mean, that's why Matt LaFleur is there. Matt LaFleur is there too. I mean, it's an unfortunate thing of like like they work together. It's a good cohesive combination. Like Zach Taylor can't only be a coach of the year candidate if he has a good quarterback. If he has a great quarterback that helps him. No one can ever. I mean, Bill Belichick won it, and he's Tom Brady's as his quarterback, but you can't take that away from Tom Brady. So yeah, I mean, and then Matt LaFleur is in the conversation as well. Like I said, they win more than 4 because I mean you have the Lions in that division, so could be 2 wins.
So but I think y'all instead of 10 would probably get around 4 or 5, and I think Packers would go from 13 to 4 or 5. I think y'all would be pretty close to the same team.
Yeah, I think you're having horrible recency bias, and I think you're being even more biased towards the Ravens. We don't beat the Ravens without Joe Burrow, like 100%. I'm telling. Like
there are going to be games in your season that would.
What about the Jets? We're going to beat the Jets without Joe Burrow? We didn't beat him with Joe Burrow.
Yeah, no, I know, but I mean, there are going to be games that you would win. Like it's just inevitable. You can't put all of that on Burrow.
All right, I mean, we're just gonna.
Yeah, but here, let me ask you this, okay? What % chance do you think Burrow will win?
The
Throw
MVP?
A percentage out. Yeah.
'I would say like a 18% chance.
Okay, so then plus 1,000 is valuable then. So you think his line should be closer to like plus 600 then with that argument?
I think he should be over Tom Brady.
Okay.
That's why I'm so like in love with the plus 1,000s because I think he should be.
Do
over
you
Tom
know
Brady.
that you're wearing a Bengals hat on your head?
I started the conversation with I'm being biased.
No, I mean I'm open to the conversation.
I started with I'm being biased. I don't think he's over Aaron Rodgers, but like I said, recency biased. It's reporters, it's story, it's coaches.
Yeah. I think with that argument, then it's better to just take Tom Brady. I think, in my opinion. I think Burrow winning MVP would be like less than a 1% chance.
Yeah, so on this conversation, obviously, if we're looking at like percentage wise, I think Mills, I think you're at the number where I'd want it, but with the way Rodgers and Brady have been playing this year, I think it's like a 5 to 10% chance he wins, and that would require it would require so much, but I like the value, like especially at that amount. And the way Joe Burrow has ended this season has been nothing but remarkable. So I think that will be the last thing that voters kind of look at. Like they're going to be like, these last 2 games, he has balled out and literally won the game for them because he's been balling out. And even though Jamar Chase had, obviously one of the best rookie showings we've ever seen, I think we'll see as a wide receiver in our lifetime, is like that showing that he had against the Chiefs. That was unbelievable. But I think more so like if you're looking at the comparison between Brady and Burrow, I think the Bengals, I think Brady has better units than the Bengals do. So I agree with you in that sense. Like if you take Burrow out, I think the Bengals go from 10 wins to 2 to 4, maybe. And I don't think you guys lose every single game. So I don't think Burrow.
Yeah, that's pain. That's
what I'm saying. Like y'all aren't like the Lions or like the Jags.
It's the NFL. You can any team can win. That's one of the things, and it's it's one of those things. I wish Burrow was out during the Steelers because he obviously dominated us, but it's one of the. If you took the QBs out of their situations, I think Brady has one of the better situations, like with the coaching staff there, with the units he has there offensively. I think if you look at the Packers situation, I think they have a very good offensive line, but they don't have necessarily the like special talent, like weapons there. Like if you took Aaron Rodgers out, and obviously we kind of saw what happened with Love when he went in there. It was a shit show, and it was like even with that offensive line, even with Devontae Adams in there, Love couldn't do shit, and that's just a comparison of like obviously Love being horrible. So I think you have to look at it in a situation where you take like a neutral QB from another team. You take Matt Ryan, put him in all three units, like all three teams. Who would he do the best with in all three teams? Like you have to look at it in that situation. Like I don't think you can look at it in the backup kind of sense. Yeah. But I understand. I'm just talking about MVP. That's all I'm talking about.
I would say the Packers would be the worst team.
You still have a defense, though. You still have a defense with the Packers.
Close to the Bengals.
I think the defense is still good on the Packers.
Still have a better defense,
but they had so many injuries on the defense this year where Aaron Rodgers had to carry them. I think they could have shut out a lot of those teams, but the games were so close because they had so many injuries on defense. So their defense tailed off towards the end of the year, which is why MVP voters have, obviously Rodgers at minus 400 when he's only thrown, he's going to just break 4,000 yards, like passing. He obviously isn't bombing it down the field like Joe Burrow's going way further down the field, higher completion percentage. That's why I like the value at the 1,000 mark, because if you're just looking at it from a play standpoint, Joe Burrow's, I don't think it's a question. I think he wins comeback player of the year. I honestly, I don't even, we'll get into that conversation next, but it's just, I think Brady has too many weapons, better units there, and better coaching overall too. And especially if you're coming with, obviously second-year head coach at the Bengals over here. I think the Bengals only win 2 to 3 games, possibly, if Burrow's out of that situation. But I don't think they lose every game.
We won 4 games with them last year. That's my only point, I guess, I'm trying to make.
When he got injured? After he got it? Yeah.
Jamar Chase is a big deal, too, though.
So's Devontae Adams, right?
No, he's good.
Yeah. He's good.
No,
Devontae Adams is pretty good at football.
But
he's pretty good.
Aaron Rodgers is going to win the MVP.
Devontae Adams, I think, is pretty good at football,
He's
too.
He's pretty good at football.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, minus 250. Anything with Mac Jones at plus 190? Any value there? He is white.
Oh,
he's a quarterback, and
he's a quarterback. You just want to mention that too.
He's Patriots, so there's a big storyline of him being the rookie, taking over a huge, a reigning Hall of Famer, taking over the reins. People were counting him out, dusting him off. But anything there?
No,
I'm not.
I think
if
Mac Jones wins, I'll actually probably be mad. I think. I'll almost be disgusted. Isn't Jamar
mad that a white QB winning some guy?
Isn't Jamar Chase having the best rookie year ever as a receiver?
True.
And you're gonna get if they give it to some mediocre.
But that happened last year though. I guess Herbert was a lot better, but
no. Herbert and Mac Jones are not even close to each other.
Yeah, but wasn't Justin Jefferson a rookie last year?
I'm a Mac Jones hater, so I'm at least in the sense of the normal public people. I don't think he's as good as some say. So
Jamar Chase ain't gonna drop that rookie.
I will be flustered if Mac Jones wins.
Okay. We move on. Because I agree. But you got that at what? Plus?
I got Jamar Chase at plus 350.
And it's at minus, what, 250 now?
Yeah. I bet it in week 3 or 4.
I think this one we had our conversation on.
Yeah, it was right after the podcast, one of the podcasts we did. I think I bet it because I got pretty trigger happy, but I bet on Trevor Lawrence to win.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least when you're thinking about the beginning of the season, it was like, all right, here's this guy that's going to be like Andrew Luck, and Urban Meyer's coming in, and the division was
Shit.
it was like weirdly winnable for the Jags. Like if they were like good or like above average, I feel that like they could have, or like it would have been like crazy, I guess, kind of, but if everything lined up correctly, like they could have like pulled it off. But
Okay.
I think when I originally bet it, I was like, he's going to be the only one that starts. That was my personal opinion because I looked at Mac Jones and I was like, all right, it's going to be Cam Newton, and then I was like, all right, Jimmy G is going to start, and then I was like, Dalton is.
Yeah,
going
but
to
they
start.
dropped Cam Newton at the beginning, like before the season.
I bet this before that even happened.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, all right, here are the 4 quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence is going to be the one that gets the most like playing time by far, and it still holds true, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad bet at all.
Yeah, and then Jamar Chase kind of came out of nowhere, or not nowhere, but I mean, you would think that it would have been a quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, to me, Mac Jones has been like completely mediocre.
Oh man,
And
here we go.
if anyone, if he comes in and takes the rookie of the year, then that's kind of even proving my point to like why I took Trevor Lawrence, because here's the receiver that's having like the sickest like season of all time, and then here's like a QB that's like playing okay. And then like if they just hand it over to him, it's just like
Here we go.
I can't.
There we go.
We'll be back on this pod, and I'll be throwing Sneck over here just to the fucking throwing rocks at it.
All right, okay. Alex hates Mac Jones. Offensive Player of the Year, Jonathan Taylor, Cooper Kupp. They have Aaron Rodgers at plus 5,000. I feel like maybe it's because he doesn't have the statistics. He's not going to win it. Why is Joe Burrow not here?
I don't even know how they like historically do that. Like,
I don't even think they put like QBs really in the running for that, only because they feel like MVPs
is quarterback
heavy, and so this is either going to be skill positions. That's why I think they don't have them. Like,
that scares me to see even Aaron Rodgers there. It's like they're planning to fuck him over. Like that's just the feeling that I get. Like they fuck him over and they give him Offensive Player of the Year. We'll see. But between Cooper Kupp and Jonathan Taylor, I think Cooper Kupp just by far just the better player. I think he's at 1,800 yards receiving, shizload of touchdowns. I'm gonna go Kupp over Taylor for this one for sure.
Yeah, I'm like thinking about it more, and I think I would go Kupp. I think Jonathan Taylor has had like an insane year, but he hasn't put up like those like Derrick Henry type numbers.
Right.
And I think that's kind of like what you need in this situation. Yep. And I don't know, I don't have his yards in front of me, but I'm assuming he's not at 2,000.
No.
He's definitely had some struggles, at least in the beginning of the season. And Kupp has been.
That wasn't his fault, though.
Kupp has been like a 10 catch a game type wide receiver. And like he's putting up like insane statistics.
Kupp is at 138 receptions, 1,829 yards, 15 touchdowns.
Isn't he like primed to beat like Calvin Johnson's like catch record or something like that?
Maybe. And it's funny how it's Matthew Stafford's the same quarterback. Jonathan Taylor is at 1,734.
Yeah, you're right. That is weird.
Jonathan Taylor's at 1,734. So
I actually might take this like right after this because I'm like all in on Kupp at this point. But I also did have him in fantasy. But
18 touchdowns.
I just think he's been so consistent. Yeah, he's like almost like a guaranteed touchdown, and he's crazy.
Okay, Frosty.
He's 100 yards
on this
a game.
one, I think I lean more towards Kupp. What he's been doing has been nothing but remarkable. It's been absolutely amazing to watch him play, even with the amount of weapons they have there. I feel like that's the only thing that really has, I guess, would take away from his value, I guess, in the voters' eyes. Like they feel like Jonathan Taylor has to do more. But like we were talking about, I don't think you can give it to Jonathan Taylor unless you have Derrick Henry numbers. I hate to say it, like it's one of those things. It just doesn't really happen that often when they give it to a running back. But it's it happened with Derrick Henry last year, which rightfully so. He was Offensive Player of the Year. He should have been Offensive Player of the Year. But like we were saying with the QBs, by the way, Patrick Mahomes won it in 2018. So he did win it that year. But man, wow, Marshall Faulk won it 3 years in a row. That's nuts. But I do like what Cup's been doing, and especially both teams have a lot to play for this weekend. So be on the lookout. Obviously, you're going to give Cup the ball, and same with Jonathan Taylor. But I do like I like the odds of obviously Cup winning it. I don't think Taylor will win it. Obviously.
Yeah, I think as a receiver too, I feel like they get less looks than like a running back would, so they get less opportunities, and so Cup basically has to be getting open. And the fact that he's getting like 10 catches a game is insane. I mean, he's going to get the ball, and they still can't defend him. And yeah, I mean, I guess you can kind of say the same thing for the Colts, but I feel like running backs just get a lot more bulk, and so the fact that he's able to put up these stats as a wide receiver is pretty crazy in my eyes. So
Okay. We all agree there. Alex, are you really gonna fight me on comeback player of the year?
not really. I think I don't think it's one of those like statistically
I think the voters will have it way closer than what it should be because I think they will vote on that.
Yeah, I just think I don't know the like correct word for it, but I just think Dak has like been through more than Burrow. And I think it also has to do with like him being in the NFL longer. But when you're looking at it like statistically, Burrow has been better than Dak for sure. And as a recency thing, he's also been playing a lot better than Dak has recently. Dak started out pretty strong, but yeah, I mean in the sense of like actual play, it has to be Burrow. But I like I said, we were kind of talking about it before. Yeah, it is like a while ago, but like his brother committed suicide. Like he had his like little foot, like he's like crying on the cart, and like I think his mom even has like cancer or something, and
His mom died in college.
His mom died a while ago.
Right. Okay. So I think like all of that like kind of like compiles itself, and it's almost like they like want to give it to him, but I wouldn't say like statistically he like deserves it, but it's almost like a storybook type thing to me. So I picked him to win it at the beginning of the season, and I would say he's played less great than I thought he would, and Burrow has played better than I thought. But at the time, I think I got it like minus 150 or something, and I was like, this is a mega lock. But at this point here, I think it's probably more of a coin flip. So I probably agree with y'all. I think if you haven't made a play yet, you're probably better off taking Burrow. So that's my opinion on that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Dude, I mean, you go with the 70% completing percentage, the 34 touchdowns Joe Burrow has. I mean, same thing. The knee is gruesome. It was a man a defensive tackle laying into his knee, collapsing it. And then you have all this BS all the way up to week 1. People saying, "Hey, don't have him play. He shouldn't be playing." Everyone's expecting him to be like a week 5, week 6 comeback guy. Goes out and wins the division.
Do you remember what his odds were at the beginning of the season?
They were really good.
It was probably like plus 500 or something.
Maybe
if there's
more.
one thing I've learned from this like season, because this is the first time that I put like money on futures and stuff, like I feel like we should always go with our gut. Like that's like one thing that I've like learned from it. Because I mean, Miles was like, "Yo, Micah Parsons is gonna win," and he was at like plus 450, and I was like, "All right, fuck it, I'm gonna put like a unit on Micah Parsons and he wins." And then if Miles like had this argument at the beginning of the season, we were like, "All right, yeah, I could see Burrow," and then Zach Taylor, Miles got, and he was at plus 1,000, and we said it on this podcast, or Miles said it, that he would be a good coach of the year, and now he's at plus 150. So I think we definitely need to just throw out some like floaters at a lot of these like plays when it comes to futures and stuff. So
Yeah, we can't fuck around next year.
yeah.
Anything from you, Frost?
Yeah, on the comeback player, I do agree that Joe Burrow has definitely been playing a lot better than Dak, and I think the voters will still vote for Dak, but I think the main thing they'll be looking at is Burrow obviously coming off of his rookie year, getting injured like that, and then coming into the second year in that system when Dak's already been a QB for so long, and obviously coming back from that injury, it's nothing but remarkable. But it's one of those things like they're going to look at the situation. Bengals were predicted to be fourth in their own division, while the Cowboys were predicted to win their division. So I think they
were predicted to be second. At least
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Y'all both had Washington over us.
I think.
True. I did.
I think you guys also ended up having way worse in division teams than what the Bengals had to face, because I think the Bengals had to face tougher opponents in division per se. So I think the voters will take a look at that. But I do like Burrow on this one, and I'm obviously a well-hated Cowboys fan, so I do not like Cowboys at all.
Weird
I
coming
think,
from AFC North hat wearer.
Yeah, well, I think I'm gonna make my statement right now. Dak is Kirk Cousins 2.0. That's what he is, and that's all he'll ever be.
That's what I'm hearing from some people. I think that's
that is all he'll ever be.
A little hot takey, but I mean,
he will be nothing special, but he won't be anything real shitty.
Now, Alex, I don't want to call us bad friends.
I was thinking about this earlier today. I don't know if I like you as a
Hey! We needed to hear it. Now,
I was randomly like in the kitchen. I was like, I love Miles, but like I don't know if I even like him anymore.
Let's get things started.
It's tough love.
And I'm gonna add this to the reason why you probably hate me. Is Joe Burrow a top 10 quarterback?
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Oh! Ah! I'm not done.
Okay, all right, let's talk about this.
Wait, Alex,
how many times in the group text was I said Dak was the top 15 quarterback, and y'all were saying
I just have
20th.
A question.
Okay.
I just have a question. Is Derek Carr better than Joe Burrow?
No.
Oh, shit.
It just took me 1 week.
Yeah, 1 week, my ass. Get out of here, dude. You hate it.
So I want to run the QB rankings again. We can run it after the Super Bowl, but I would like to see that. But no,
I mean we can look. We're already at hour and change. It doesn't fucking matter to me. Coach of the year. What do y'all think? Coach of the year.
I think it should be Taylor.
I think it's going to come down between Taylor and Vrabel. I think that'll be the 1 and 2. I think expectation-wise, obviously Taylor gets the edge. Injury-wise, I think you look at Vrabel's situation. I think Alex, we were already talking about that, but they had like 68 different starters, or Mills, you may have said it, but 68 different starters on the Titans roster. And the fact that they keep winning games, like everybody, as soon as Derrick Henry went down, like, this team's not going to reach 10 wins or, reach even 9 or 8 wins now with Derrick Henry out. And they've just been trucking along. So I think what Vrabel's done has been nothing but remarkable. Taylor, I think, will get the nod because he's only been there a year before. Vrabel's been there for quite some time, so it took a while for his system to really take place. Taylor, I think he I think he gets the nod because of it's year 2 and they were predicted 4th, while the Titans were predicted, obviously, at the beginning of the season. I think they were predicted number 1, or maybe number 2 because of the Colts hype that was going on. So it's, I think Taylor gets the nod, but I think it's way closer, especially with the injury situation that happened with Derrick Henry and what Vrabel was able to kind of rally
Still
the
do.
troops.
And at plus 350, that's good, honestly, for
Mm-hmm.
Vrabel.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think it should be Taylor, honestly. Kind of what we were saying earlier, like 20 minutes ago. The fact that the Bengals were supposed to be a 5.5 win team and they've turned it into 10, 11 wins. That's 6 wins higher than they're expected. And then, the Titans, they were probably expected to win 9, 10
I
games.
think it was 8.5, I think was their
Oh,
number.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Derrick Henry, obviously, and, Julio and Brown and all that. But like when it comes down to it and you start looking back, like the Bengals should not be here. And, what, Miles? I mean,
don't know.
I was with you. I
All
thought
right.
y'all were gonna win, and
All right.
but we're looking at when I'm looking mathematically at Vegas, and they're telling us that they should win 5.5, and they win 11. That's like a six win difference. So
Yeah.
I mean, Taylor has really brought this team from the dumps to the top. So
Okay. I think Zach Taylor should get the nod. He also had this emotional interview that, probably a lot of reporters are going to see of him crying. Like, as soon as they asked him, how does it feel as soon as he won? It took him like 20 seconds to even like say a word. That's going to take into consideration. But I do want to know how they do it, in the sense of rookie of the year is already a Bengals lock. Comeback player of the year, if they give that to a Bengal, do they give coach of the year to another Bengal? I feel like
That may be too much. Well,
I feel like they might want to spread it. I don't know if they want to go full Bengals mode. So maybe that's how Vrabel gets the nod. Maybe if Aaron Rodgers gets fucked, that means they get to give it to LaFleur because he had to handle that, right? As a coach, you had to handle Aaron Rodgers. You had to negotiate with him. You had to get him back in the building. You had to tell the players, "Hey, look, we could still do this." Da 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 da. So does LaFleur get love? And then of course you have Vrabel plus 350, losing his offense. Julio gone, AJ Brown gone. You had of course Henry gone, and then being number 1 seed in the AFC is pretty
That's
massive. So shit, dude. I think if I had to, just because Jamar and it looks like Burrow, I think it'd be a slap in the face for Taylor, honestly, but I could see it happening. I can see it going to Vrabel.
I would love to see like it. We don't bring it up enough, but the coaching job that Bill Belichick did this year
That
was
too.
also remarkable. Like
Mhm.
that's going to get overlooked. Taking a rookie QB and
Or moving on from Cam early.
moving on from Cam early, pretty much setting the team identity week like 4. I think it was week 4 because, or no, it was week 6. They were 2-4 to start the season, and
Right.
then going off a span of 7 wins. Like it's nuts what he was able to kind of do there, and he obviously let go of the reins when it comes to drafting now. So I think it's going to be more so where he is literally just coaching and not concerned about drafting. He may go after obviously free agents, but it's the job he did this year is remarkable because I know they had the Dolphins I think at 2, Bills at 1, and then Patriots at 3. So it's one of those. It was a great coach. I couldn't believe
is
the
it
job
not
he did.
shocking that LaFleur's like tied with Zach Taylor to y'all? Because in my opinion,
No,
I wouldn't even have him in the top 3. But
I think
that's just
it's a
me.
remarkable the
It's
fact he had to deal with the Aaron Rodgers
right.
situation is the main thing. I don't think they're concerned about his coaching abilities. I think it's more so the defensive or the coach of the year typically goes hand in hand with having a good QB. So that, I mean, you kind of look at that, kind of takeaways like, I don't know, like I don't think it's a slap in the face or anything like that or a surprise, because I think the fact that they're 13 and obviously 2 or whatever the record is right now, or 14 and 2, it's remarkable either way. Anytime you can get a team back to that status is incredible.
I think
I think LaFleur really hits the ground running, just because there is a massive, like, astronomical reason that the only reason why Aaron Rodgers is even there is because of him.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
The way I look at it is I feel Aaron Rodgers would be killing it and the Packers would be winning regardless of who's coach. Not regardless, but like, to me, even if like Mike McCarthy was still there, they would still be like in the running. As
But they weren't going like 13 games consistently with
13,
McCarthy.
Yeah, I know that, but I still just think, and to me, he's like changing like 2 wins, 1 to 2, and when I think of like Taylor, I just think it's more. The Bengals are definitely the team that like no one thought of, like besides Miles in the entire world, that would be here. So
Joe Burrow thought so too. So real quick, I'm gonna do my best to do the non-biased top 5 quarterbacks real quick. Right now, this is just right now the hottest top 5 best quarterbacks. Number 1, Aaron Rodgers. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes. Number 3, Tom Brady. Number 4 is Joe Burrow. And number 5 is Justin Herbert. Now, those are my 5. Who are you moving in, moving out, or is it they're all good to stay in and you just want to move the order?
I like your top 3. I think.
Of course, asshole.
I'd probably put Josh Allen up there. Are you saying like who's better or who's doing better right now?
Who's playing the best right now?
Herbert 5. I don't know. I mean, that would be one of those things that you'd have to look at statistics, but it's tough. I think Josh Allen for sure should be in that conversation. He's maybe Kyler might be up there.
So you're kicking Joe out?
I definitely want to put Dak there now.
So the way it would be for me, at least, like if you're going playing right now, definitely number 1, Aaron Rodgers, obviously. Who'd you have number 2?
Pat.
Mahomes.
Yeah, I put Pat, like the way he's kind of gotten out of his slump per se. He's having statistically still an amazing year. So I'd put Pat at number 2. I would put actually Joe Burrow number 3, and then put Tom Brady number 4 and Kyler number 5. I don't think he's too inconsistent right now. I don't think like, I understand why you have him in the top 5. I think he'd be sitting out right at number 6 or 7. Josh Allen is up there, but the way Kyler's been kind of carrying that team, especially without D-Hop these last few weeks, has been nothing but remarkable. Like, imagine if Kyler was 6'5" with the body of Josh Allen, like it'd be unstoppable. It'd be the world would end.
I don't know. I was 6'5".
Like, Jesus,
I'm gonna be here right now.
But yeah, I'd put Kyler at 5.
I think I'd put
Josh Allen.
I'd put Josh Allen at 5. I think, but
so who are you kicking out of my list, Alex?
Herbert. I think Herbert's less consistent.
I would kick Herbert out.
Would you say Joe Burrow's a top 5 quarterback?
No.
He's saying right now.
What would your top 5 list be?
Josh Allen would definitely be in the top 5. And
why do you think Josh Allen is that? What does he do that's like that?
He can
amazing?
Run.
His running game's amazing.
His running game, yeah. He has absolutely no running game on his team.
Mm-hmm.
and he's just
Isn't he
better.
like leading
He's just
rusher the
built way
last like
better.
5 weeks for this team?
I don't know. 5 would be tough. Burrow is in my top 10. I'm not ready to put him in the top 5 right now. I think when it comes and we're talking like right now, yes, he is probably top 5, but like when it comes to next season, I don't know if we're going to be talking about him being in the top 5. But I don't know who would be. I mean, that's tough. And I mean, we went kind of through our list, a few weeks ago, and there are a lot of QBs that are kind of in that like 3 to 10 range, in my opinion, and they're all kind of close. We talk about Dak, Russell Wilson, Josh Allen, Herbert, Burrow.
Dak ain't in my list anymore.
I mean, Dak is definitely in the list of those players. He's
top 15.
if you don't think he's at least top 10,
Dak or Joe?
you're just a hater.
Dak or Joe Burrow? If you could have a Dallas Cowboy quarterback right now, would you have Joe Burrow or Dak
I'd
Prescott?
rather have Dak.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, we're looking at one
soul.
season right now.
Jesus,
Dak has been off for like 4 games.
How many seasons has Dak had though?
Go look at Dak's like freshman season. He was like up for MVP. It's almost mirror image of Joe Burrow.
It's not.
And, okay, when it comes to me personally,
when you have the best offensive line in the league, it's not.
Cowboys aren't the best offensive line in the league.
We go to Dak's rookie season as well.
Yeah,
that's where you're taking it.
They had 3 Pro Bowlers on the offensive line that year.
Okay, but yeah, no one thought Dak was a top 5 quarterback at that point. It's just too early for me to be saying that Burrow's a top 5 quarterback right now. And I think you're definitely in, like, no one would say that next year. No one's going to put Burrow in top 5.
Okay.
I'm not saying that he can't be, and that
no, you're saying he's bad.
Now. No, it's just like when it comes down to it, I've seen more from Dak, and I think Dak is better than him, and it's not like insanely off. Like I'd probably put Burrow at like 8 right now, or like when it comes to next year. I don't know.
But right now, you would say Dak.
Right now, playing, yes, Joe Burrow at this moment is playing like a top 5 quarterback. But when we come back next season and we're a year from now, I don't think we're going to be saying that Joe Burrow is a top 5 quarterback. That's just what I think.
Okay.
Then we're gonna start looking at Russell Wilson again. He could be in the combo. Kyler could have a crazy year. I'm down to do this again, like in like a month. I probably will have Burrow in like the top 8, but to me, I have to see like a lot out of you, and I've only seen how many games has Burrow even played? 20 games.
Mm-hmm.
I just I need more games before I can start throwing that out. I mean, look at Lamar. People were like Frost had him as number 1, and now now people are saying he's outside the top 10. And Huntley's looking better than him, and that he's been playing for 3 or 4 years.
I mean, but my question was right now. I never said next year.
Right now, yeah, he's playing like a top 5 quarterback.
Okay,
I agree. Dak is in a slump right now, but even in his slump, he's still a top 10 quarterback.
Okay, I think I can get behind that statement.
Like I said, there's probably a good 5 or 6 quarterbacks to me that are all kind of in that same. You have that S tier with those top 3 guys, and then you have like an A tier that to me there's like 6 guys in there that kind of can like shuffle around, and then you're in another tier where there's like Lamar, there's like Derek Carr, like Stafford, like those type guys. Yeah. So
Dak Prescott.
See, I just think that's just hate. That's just hating to me. Like to me, that's wild. That Frost would think that he's like a
Stafford or Dak.
You're asking Frost, right?
I'm asking you.
100% Dak. Like it's not even close.
I'm going with Dak on that situation just because of like health wise, and then obviously longevity. Like I would go Dak on that.
Kyler or Dak?
I think I would go Kyler right now.
And then you go, I think you like Josh Allen more
Josh
than
Allen
Dak.
for sure. Josh Allen's 4 for me.
Russell Wilson?
Dak.
So that's a tough one.
But yeah, I mean, it's hard because we don't know what Russell Wilson is right now. Next year, he could be playing for the Broncos and he could have an incredible season. I used to have Russell Wilson in the top 5.
It just seems like you have Dak in like your top 5.
No, I think he's probably 6.
6.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think
That's
I
really
would
high.
I think I would go Josh Allen, then Kyler, and then probably Dak at 6. I mean, who am I missing that should be higher? So Herbert.
I think you would be
Burrow.
you would be a lot happier, and more games would be won if you had Herbert and Burrow in a Dallas Cowboy uniform. That's just my genuine opinion.
I think I like the consistency with Dak more than I do with like Herbert. Herbert, I think he has like the potential to be great, but he's still lacking. Like he's just young, and that's kind of like what I was saying earlier. Like Mahomes, Rodgers, like Brady, like we've seen them for like a long time, and then Mahomes is just yeah. Like Hack said, there's like a recency bias. Like you're looking at Dak in the past like 5 games that he's played. If he continued playing how he was at the beginning of the season, we would be talking MVP on Dak right now. Like the first like 7 games of the season, he was putting up freak numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And like right after he got hurt, basically it's like now we're talking that he's like outside of the top 10. Like it is just like beyond me. No one should have him any lower than
I'm not
8 or
outside
9,
top 10 with
opinion.
him. I don't know. I just
I could like maybe see your argument, but like to me next year, like all healthy and everything, like Dak is just better than Herbert and Burrow.
So what went wrong with Dak? Why did things go? What happened that things digressed?
He got hurt.
So it was like when his shoulder started hurting him and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, he right before the Vikings game. I don't remember which game it was specifically, but he got hurt. Like you look at the stats, like since
I think
then.
it was his foot or something. Or
Yeah.
So probably not opponents that he played helped out with the statistics. Was it
or his record against winning teams, stuff like that?
No, I mean
none of that
for
stuff?
sure.
Yeah,
But
yeah, definitely.
I'm just not going to take a 22-year-old quarterback over Dak Prescott right now.
23. But,
I'm talking about Herbert.
oh, okay.
I mean, they just haven't had enough film. Like, we're talking sophomore slumps and all that. Like that's something that you pride yourself on, and
They didn't have it though.
No, I know.
I'm wrong. I was wrong about Herbert. I was wrong. I
but
thought it was going to happen.
Even still, I just it's so early on to like be putting them over him. Like I said, Lamar is a perfect example. Everyone was like, "Oh, dude, this is the guy, top 3." Like, "Oh my God, he should have went first pick." And then now, like, I don't think people have him in the top 10, and it could be because he's hurt or what, but it's just like prime recency bias to me. If Dak continued on like what he was doing at the beginning of the season, like he was in like the top 3 MVP candidates at that point. No one, like people didn't even have Burrow in there. And then now we're 5 weeks past that moment, and now we're saying that like within 1 month, all these guys are better than him, or like 3 different guys. So
Not about how you start.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm down to do it again, but I think you're right. I mean, Burrow's the top 10 quarterback for sure.
Okay.
But
yeah, we'll definitely. I guess after the Super Bowl, we can. After the Super Bowl, let me ask you this: so, given your whole bit about next year this, next year that, what does
like 4th QB? I think you had him higher than me last time we did it. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you had him at like.
I don't think so. I think maybe like 7. We'll probably pull the whole deal. I mean, I'm not gonna get excuses of why Dak, but The question is this. This will be my last one. Playoffs coming up. What can Dak on a first round exit, does that matter to you? And if Joe Burrow goes deep, Herbert goes deep, is that still not enough film or not enough time to put, Dak over or over and blah, blah, blah? All right, is Super Bowl only, would Super Bowl only for Herbert or Burrow be the thing that, took Dak over them?
Yeah. In my opinion, we have to win at least one game in the playoffs. If we don't win one game, then we deserve shit talking. And then y'all, like, the Bengals would probably have to be like in the Super Bowl at that point. At least like get there.
Okay.
If we don't at least win one playoff game, like, that's bad. We should at least win one. Then we deserve shit talking.
One of our fans said AFC is hot garbage compared to the AFC, and then he corrected himself by saying compared to the NFC, but we still don't know which one he's fucking talking about. So
I kind of agree with Hack in that sense for sure.
What did Hack just say there? We don't know what Hack fucking said. He said it could be NFC is hot garbage compared to AFC, or it can be AFC is hot garbage.
In my personal opinion, there's two teams in the AFC that can win the Super Bowl. It's the Chiefs.
AFC is hot garbage compared to NFC. I think NFC is probably just top heavy. I think it's very top heavy. I think it's Packers,
Bucks, Rams, Cowboys, Cardinals.
Okay, what about
those?
Chiefs?
All five teams are good. Chiefs, Bills, and that's it. No other team to me is like scary.
Titans?
No.
Did y'all beat the Titans? Didn't y'all play the Titans?
Yeah, you're not going to be scared of the Titans when Derrick Henry comes back after being out for so long?
Oh, all right.
I think the Titans don't scare me. The Patriots don't scare me. Bengals, like, maybe. Who else would be in it? Chargers, like, their defense isn't like good enough in my opinion. Raiders, no. I agree with Hack. Like, there's like five teams in the NFC, and then there's like two teams in the AFC.
You and Hack agreeing? That's weird.
All right. Yep. Sorry, Hack. I can't read, but you're right. I'm wrong. All right. Well,
hey, Hack did really well in his pick'ems this year. So, I mean, you should respect Hack.
Yeah, no, I need to try. Maybe you should have him on the pod. Maybe you can hear him talk a little bit more. Pick his brain.
He can podcast from his closet.
I think these jerseys are cute, so they're gonna win. No. Okay. Well, that is Okay. Here we go. That's gonna be our. Are we gonna do this through the playoffs?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just do.
At that point, I mean, we can just kind of go more of like who we think's gonna win.
We'll start getting into the draft also at that point too.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I think we can be definitely open to different things.
I'm literally like, I don't know at what point I should start it. But
if you want to just freaking
it's going to be an everyday thing, dude.
I will just put it on the YouTube page.
Dude, we can go to Noah levels, man, and if we can get
you can put a photo of an Oregon defensive lineman and Miles say, "Look at these shoes right here."
Talk about Pierce saying that draft class ranks don't count anymore or don't matter.
You haven't seen Noah's videos yet?
I have not seen. Oh, I have seen Noah's. Oh, I see what you mean.
Quit hating on him.
That's fucked up. That's funny though. That's fucked up. All right. So that's Tease My Peak. That's week 18. We did it. We got a full whole season done, completed. How many? We started like what? Week 6?
No, we started week 1.
I don't know if we started week 1. We did not.
What? Did not on the videos?
I don't think
so.
Yes,
we did. We started week 1 and then we brought Frost in for week 2. We've done every week besides last.
Oh
week.
yeah, you did the first one.
It's a fucking blur, dude.
I don't think.
Oh yeah, because I think we started week 2.
No,
Maybe
we
brought him in
did.
week 3.
We started week 1. I have it right here. I have all.
Yeah, I know I did. I know I did week 2 because we were talking about how the Saints absolutely dominated the Packers or whatever.
Yeah, remember we were talking about it on the podcast. Me and you were debating Saints and Packers because the line was like 4.5, and I was sitting here saying the Packers are my favorite line of all time, and then they lost. Don't you remember that?
Oh man.
I know.
Yeah, we did.
I remember when you were blowing the Eagles. So when did that happen?
That was right after week 1 when Frost came on here.
Okay.
But me and you did the pod. You didn't even have like a camera. You were on like the mic, and I was on the camera. Yeah. And then we brought Frost in for week 2.
Okay, I remember. Okay. Wow. 18 weeks. Fuck. That's pretty nutty that we did that.
And then we're gonna have like, so many years of life left. So whoever dies first, then maybe we'll stop doing it. And then
we'll get Ian to do the rest of the pod.
We'll get Miles Thomas II in here, and then he'll take over. Hey, son.
You think I'm gonna name my kid Miles Thomas?
Hey, son, get on here.
Why has my voice change? I get
accent all of a sudden too.
Where did that come from?
And then let me tell you, Alex Blasing II about Joe Burrow.
No, it's you.
He's the
it's
best
still you.
quarterback
It's
ever.
still Alex.
Joe Burrow.
It's still Alex.
Say, my dad said Tom Brady was the best. No, it was Joe Burrow. He's so sick. Oh man.
All right. I don't know what we're talking about anymore. But we're gonna transition into the draft for sure. Mock draft stuff, that's going to be the craziest. That's when people are just going to be so thirsty for content.
It's going to be an hour stream.
It's going to be every day. I'm going to be coming home from work and just fucking ripping this thing up. But 18 weeks, we did it. We got playoffs next, so we'll see what happens there. It's going to be lit.
What was our record for our locks?
Dude, pretty good.
We hit 60 something.
Oh yeah, we're definitely around 60%. I think next season, what I'm going to do is I'm just only going to take our bets because I get too cute. And
I'm not taking any Miles bets.
Okay, look, I did drop the ball, right? But that was
3 weeks.
Hurt people.
So I think we're like 29 and like 16.
That's
so I mean that has to be like over 60%, right?
That's
like,
not bad.
Probably around.
I don't think
there.
so. Might be over. I don't know. Maybe.
It's pretty good. It's definitely profitable. We'll say that much.
All right. Well, that is it. We will see you guys next Wednesday. When everything's probably gets started off, and we got playoffs next this go around. So
true.
Hopefully we'll pop off. Any last words?
I hope more Cowboys don't get COVID, and I hope we get the Eagles in the first round.
You're not getting the Eagles in the first round.
I hope we. Oh, Frost! I'm sure you hope you get in. I don't. Let's see. Bengals. Right now, they have us matched up with the Colts.
Oh,
that'd be a tough one.
Ooh, I don't want that. I want if I had to pick between.
Does it hurt you that I'd rather Carson Wentz win over you?
Well, it's not true.
Joe Burrow's gonna throw 2 interceptions.
You don't mean it, so it doesn't matter.
I wouldn't be concerned about him throwing interceptions. I'd be more concerned about his knees getting taken out by the defense of the Colts.
What the fuck?
I'm just saying they have way better defense than we've seen.
I hope the Steelers make playoffs, so if there's a chance we can play them. That'd be a good, easy first week in there.
It's gonna be exactly what happened with Tampa and the Saints. It'll be the same thing, right?
Okay. But honestly, if it's right now, Colts, Chargers, Raiders, I would 1,000% want the Raiders.
I would take the Raiders hands down.
I think I would actually go Raiders, Colts, Chargers. I would not want to play the Chargers. I think the Chargers have our number.
I think the Chargers have the one of like the highest
highest upside offensively.
Exactly. And I think if we can slow down Colts and then get in Wentz's head, it could be an easy game.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So Cowboys going out first round of the playoffs this year?
It depends who we play.
Oh, Alex, you're just
if we play the Rams,
real friends, dude.
You understand? You can't come back to real friends for at least like 2 months.
At least, probably, honestly.
Wait for maybe when Winter Olympics come in. Then
there you go.
At that point, I'll be cheering for Japan or something. And
what?
Yeah.
Then you can give me shit about my Japanese
some high stakes gambling
skiers.
for Japan.
But
right.
if we play the Cardinals and we lose, oh man, just don't add me until like 2020.
I'm a FaceTime the Hey, why didn't you answer my FaceTime?
No, I really didn't see it. I would have. But yeah, I mean, if you ever do anything to me, I mean, I have recorded death threats from you. So,
in my defense, I'd say I kill your family, not you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's still a death threat.
So
now we have more on film.
Damn it! These damn cameras and mics. All right.
With that being said,
damn technology. All right.
Off.
Okay. That's week 18. Thank you for season 1. We got playoffs coming to you next week. Transition to the draft. This is Tease My Pick. See you guys next week.